Bears imprint was all over Super Bowl 51, and Nate is here to break down exactly what I mean by that.
Yeah, I love that you use the word imprint, because I was told as a player, try to leave your mark on the game, try to leave your fingerprints on certain plays, and what I'm going to do is break down a couple of them. In that piece, he said 6 seconds, 6-second rule. The average play is around 6 seconds, so I'll show you 12 seconds of some plays that were the big part of this win. Now, Julian Edelman right here in the slot. You got Robert Alford, who could have been the MVP of this game. He's running a seam route. He gives him a move over the top. The pick almost happens. Hands on the ball. Robert Alford, if he'd have got this pick, they might have won the game, and he would have been the MVP. But the ball's tipped in the air. Once you pay attention to Julian's eyes, never leaves the ball. He knows exactly where the ball is the entire time. You got to understand the difficulty in trying to track a ball when you have your helmet moving, the field seeming like it's unstable, and then guys hitting you, arms flailing, legs kicking. Julian seeing, he got kicked in the face mask and still was able to focus on the ball reaching. And we're talking about inches. Guys behind you, guys in front of you. Just imagine trying to find the ball and it just pops out of nowhere and you reach and dig it up off the ground. I mean, this is inches. They say the game is about inches. They were inches away of losing this Super Bowl. So that right there to me could be one of the best catches in Super Bowl history, and that's a pass play, right? We all love the pass plays. We all love the plays that make the highlights. But then there's plays where he didn't necessarily be the guy that gets the touchdown or makes the catch, but he was instrumental in getting this play. Now we see that they're in man coverage. Robert Alford again guarding Julian. I can appreciate the DB that wants to guard one of their best receivers.
It's the
game winner right here. He comes down on Brian Poole. Julian, leave your mark on the game. How are you going to put your mark on the game? Put your mark on a player. That means go there, level him if you can, leaving your feet. There was no hesitation. There was no holding yourself back. He knew exactly what he needed to do. Robert Alford gets trapped inside. I want you to pay attention. I know we're highlighting different individuals. Robert Alford now inside, too far inside to make a play. Look at Julian, though. This is the guy we're paying attention to. He's laying on the ground as the game-winning touchdown is scored by his running back. Laying on the ground, that's laying yourself out. Here's what we do as receivers. We go in motion, and we see the big guy that we're got to hit. And if he's bigger than you or if he's a hitter, you say to yourself, it's going to take everything. There was no hesitation. Julian said, okay, I'm going to leave my feet regardless, and then I'll turn around and see if we got the touchdown. So we're talking about all these different plays, all these different ways that the Patriots win. I got to highlight my guy, Julian Slotty Pippen, because we oftentimes talk about the routes. We oftentimes talk about the catches, but it's the little things. It's the small details. I mean, KB, let me see that ball, because this is how close it was to catch it. Whoa. We're talking about inches, and I'm in a studio right now. And this ball is almost touching the ground. Now, I could imagine in the biggest game of my life when my heart is jumping out my chest and there's players all around me.
There's 3 players next to you getting kicked in the helmet. You said it was more impressive than Tyree's catch.
It was. It just, the moment in which it happened and his eyes never leaving the ball, there was a little bit of luck involved, and there was a little bit of luck involved.
He told Fallon, he told Jimmy Fallon how much of it was luck. He asked him, and he said 70% luck. You know,
I think he's being gracious on that luck. But, Peter, you talked to him after the game.
Fox postgame show, I spoke to him, and I said, what's going through your head? Obviously, the question is, what's going through your head on that catch? He said, Bruce Lee, be like water. And that's his mantra, be like water. Can you imagine what's going on in the world with 100 million people watching, everything happening, bodies all over you, and to have the focus and the concentration to be like water, be motionless, be just completely concentrated on keeping that ball off the ground and catching the ball. Be like
the mic'd up package that they ran, too, it's so cool, because the second he gets up, he goes, I caught it. I caught it. He knew he caught it. And one of the fastest guys, you didn't catch it. He goes, I caught it. Watch. There was no doubt. He knew.
And, you know, I'll translate that for a second. Be like water is being fluid in the moment that is most chaotic. And oftentimes, receivers, you hear it, they get the alligator arms. Or they hear the footsteps, and they drop the ball. Or for all of one split second, they lose focus, and the ball's over here, eyes over there, ball drops. So being like water is being fluid in the moment and moving with the moment.
There were a lot of videos going, obviously virally for the post game, for the parade, everything, of him and his fellow receivers sort of right after the game saying, oh, we can't make it on another team, you know, facing a lot of the criticism that they get for Brady elevating their game and making them what they are. But the toughness of Julian Edelman cannot be understated. Would you slot him in, no pun intended,
I like it, though,
as one of the toughest players in the game?
Yeah, you know, I feel like most players are tough. It's very dismissive to write off, you know, a list of players that are playing now and that have played the game. I'll just take it a step further and say he's one of the most clutch wide receivers in postseason history. Because we talk about regular season, he might not lead the league in numbers. He might not be the guy that you vote in the Pro Bowl. He might not be the guy you want on your cereal box. But he's the guy that's going to show up every single postseason when he has the opportunity. And there's something to be said about that because we don't talk about it enough. Take for granted there's only a handful of games in the postseason. But when you look at guys that have made plays, you look at the history, the track record of the Patriots, who's been there consistently, a guy that's made plays every single postseason is Julian Edelman.
And regular season, just consistent as ever. We know that Brady's got ice for him. Let me ask you this, though.
Yeah.
Could Edelman do it on ice?
Maybe.
Maybe so.
Maybe.
Right.